The Whispering Tree. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom blanketed by meadows and dotted with sparkling lakes, there was a small village called Fernhollow. The villagers were simple folk who loved storytelling, music, and the beauty of nature. At the edge of this village stood a massive ancient tree with golden leaves that shimmered under the moonlight. It was called the Whispering Tree, for it was said that it whispered secrets to those with pure hearts. Children often played around its roots, and the elders told tales of how the tree once spoke to a young girl who saved the entire village from a terrible drought. No one had heard the tree whisper in over 100 years, and many began to believe it was just an old tale. Among the children who played near the tree was a curious 12-year-old girl named Elara. She was not like the other children, quiet, observant, and always lost in thought. She often sat by the tree with a sketchbook, drawing the leaves, the birds that nested in its branches, and the patterns of bark that twisted like rivers. One day, as twilight painted the sky in hues of purple and gold, Elara leaned her head against the trunk and sighed, "I wish I could hear your whispers, just once." To her surprise, a soft breeze rustled the golden leaves above, and she heard a faint voice, almost like a song on the wind. "Elara, gentle heart, the time has come." Elara's eyes widened. Her heart pounded. Are you talking to me?" "Yes," the voice whispered. "Darkness grows beyond the hills. The balance of the forest is tipping. You must go to the Mirror Lake before the next full moon." Elara's mind swirled with questions. Why me? What's happening? But the voice was gone. The tree stood still again, its leaves glowing faintly in the fading light. The next morning, Elara rushed to the village elders and told them what had happened. Most of them laughed kindly and patted her head, calling it a vivid imagination. Only one elder, old Mara, believed her. Old Mara's eyes grew serious. "If the Whispering Tree has spoken again, then something old is waking. The Mirror Lake lies beyond the Thornvale Woods. No child has ever gone that far alone." "I'm not afraid," said Elara, though a small quiver betrayed her. Mara handed her a small pouch. Inside is a silver acorn. Long ago, it was a gift from the tree itself. Use it wisely. Elara set off the next morning with her sketchbook, the silver acorn, and a cloak her mother had sewn from soft blue wool. The villagers watched her leave, whispering doubts and fears, but Elara walked tall, guided by courage and the rustling wind. The journey was long, and the Thornvale Woods dark, tangled with creeping vines and shadows that moved. Strange whispers followed her, but she remembered the voice of the tree and pressed on. At night, she rested beneath the stars and dreamed of glowing rivers and a silver stag that spoke in riddles. On the third day, she reached the Mirror Lake. It was a hauntingly beautiful place. The water was perfectly still, reflecting the sky with such clarity it looked like a portal to another world. In the center of the lake stood a black spire of stone, jagged and pulsing with an eerie light. Suddenly the lake rippled, and a figure rose from its depths. It was a woman cloaked in mist, with eyes like polished onyx and hair that floated as if underwater. "I have been waiting," she said. "You are the child of the Whispering Tree." "I am Elara," she replied. "What do you want from me?" The figure smiled coldly. "I am the lady of the lake's shadow. Long ago, I was banished by the tree's magic, but time has weakened the spell. Soon I shall return, and this land will drown in silence and sleep." Elara clutched the silver acorn. "The tree sent me to stop you." "You?" laughed the shadow. "You are but a child." "Maybe," said Elara, stepping closer to the lake's edge. "But I believe in the tree. I believe in light." The shadow hissed and raised her arms. Waves crashed against the shore, and the sky turned black. Creatures of mist slithered from the lake, hissing and shrieking. Elara stood firm. She held the acorn high. The silver acorn glowed with blinding light, and from it sprang vines of gold that wrapped around the shadow creatures, turning them into petals and feathers. The lake shimmered, and the black spire began to crack. "No," screamed the shadow. "You do not have the strength." "I don't,"
Elara whispered, "but I have hope." The silver vines reached the shadow woman, and with a cry that shook the trees, she vanished into a burst of light. The lake stilled, the spire crumbled, the sky turned blue again. Elara collapsed by the lakeside, breathing heavily. A soft wind rustled the trees, and in it she heard the voice again. "You have done well, Elara of Fernhollow. The balance is restored." She opened her eyes to see the silver stag from her dreams standing nearby.
"Who are you?" she asked. "I am the guardian of the whispering tree," the stag said. "It is rare for one so young to carry such light. You are now its keeper." He touched her forehead with his nose, and a mark shaped like a leaf appeared. Elara felt a warmth spread through her chest, like the joy of every song she had ever heard. "Return home," the stag said, "and remember, light comes from even the smallest flame." When Elara returned to Fernhollow, she was met with silence. Then cheers erupted. The grass was greener, the air lighter, the tree glowed brighter than ever. Old Myra wept and said, "You are the girl from the tale now." From that day, the whispering tree whispered often, and Elara listened. She grew to be a wise guardian, loved by all, and every spring, children placed golden leaves in her hair. And so, the legend of Elara the Brave lived on, proof that one heart, filled with belief and kindness, can change the world. Moral of the story: true courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face darkness with hope. Even the smallest voice can shine the brightest light.